Hello, my name is Prime, and welcome back to ATS Showcases, and today we're going to be hauling some pre-bottled buttermilk from here in Iowa City, and we're going to head all the way down the eastern side of the ATS map, delivering to the TerraStore facility in St. Louis, a journey that will take us over 300 miles and beyond roads that for the most part I haven't even driven on here in ATS. We have a lot of ground to cover and many things to talk about, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get our Mac Anthem Black Edition started up and get on the road. The engine sounds you are hearing today are from none other than the Engine and Transmission Compilation mod, a free Steam Workshop mod that I will have linked down in the description below. Alright, let's get rolling. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I certainly am. It is absolutely wonderful to be back here in American Truck Simulator. It has been way too long, my friends. Way too long indeed. And, well, for those who may not be as familiar with the ETS2 series that I've been covering for quite some time now here on the channel, the longest delivery possible in ETS2 for 2026, you will notice a head movement today, and I have been experimenting with a new head tracking system, beam, head, and eye tracker that was graciously sent to me. And I've been trying to dial in some settings. Now, my setup, I'll talk about it a little bit later for those who haven't watched the long haul series there. There's... Oh, I'm on a new passage. Okay. Where does it take us? I don't really know. Should we take the passage? I don't know if it's going to take us the wrong direction, though. I really don't know. I guess we can go over here and see what's happening. Yeah, that was a genuine mistake. I missed my turn, but it's going to work out, I think, in our favor. What in the world is over here? I am not too sure. But anyways, I got head tracking now, so that's fantastic, and I'll talk about it a little bit later because, again, there are many things to try and cover here in this episode. What am I looking at here? There's some form of, like, as I go into the trees, some alien space tech thing. What in the world? I mean, do I take the truck in there? I mean, I'm here when in Rome, right? What in the world is this? I'm very confused. Got a bunch of control panels. No clue. Horn doesn't do anything. Oh, well, let's just back out of here. Little side quest, you know, just typical things here in Prime Simulation. You never know what you're going to get. These videos are quite literally like a box of chocolates. There's always something new in them for you to enjoy. So let's go ahead and actually get on our main delivery here. I have no idea what in the world this is. Welcome to Iowa City, my friends, I guess. All right, random farmland. Yeah, you gotta love it. So the other thing is that, and we're gonna start here. I'm gonna try and keep things as direct as possible because when you haven't made a video in ATS for quite some time, I think a couple months now, and with various things going on, for those who haven't been paying attention to the ETS2 sides of things, there's been a lot going on in my life recently. So I'm going to try and keep things fairly direct here with the commentary on just what in the world is kind of going on with ATS, mainly all the new things that we have either being released very soon and or potentially confirmed or even released as we speak. So why don't I start off with what has been already released, which is the 1.59 update. And in fact, this is technically my first look at the update, and the partial reason why I didn't basically cram in the first look of the beta was that this update, although very important, was maybe fair to say didn't have the main, shall we say, big feature item that ETS2 had. And admittedly, I still haven't even done a first look at the ETS2 one, but that is changing very soon. For 1.59, I'm going to be covering that very shortly, but still, it's it's one of those things that it didn't have like a big key update, shall we say. And is a tractor gonna, I mean, he's trying to go across, and unfortunately it's fairly clear here, or it was, but I don't really want to go out, well, I guess I technically can go beside here, but I prefer to swing out a little bit farther. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and make a beeline here. Oh, he's going anyway, so that all works out when it's all said and done. We're gonna kind of come around here, make sure we stay on the road. Fantastic. So I really decided, just in the midst of everything else going on, to not force it for what did come in. And admittedly, from first impressions, 1.59 for me has been running really well, so I'm very happy about that, considering some of the performance issues I was having with the game leading up to it. And again, this video is going to be a good test to see how everything progresses and if it remains consistent. But some of the main UI features that came in, honestly, extremely handy indeed. And we've got to get over here because we've got what looks like a pursuit stop or something going on here. Someone's breaking the law. Not good. So yeah, we've got some UI upgrades, which is fantastic. The widget system has been updated a little bit, so if I try and open up, that's the wrong button. Let's try and get the right one. There we go. Hit the right bit on the keyboard. Things happen. We now have company info that you can add in on the top there, in the amongst many things. So the damage and the well, again, company finance bits, which is absolutely fantastic. Something that brings it a little bit closer to the previous root advisor, which we all knew and loved. But again, we got to move forward here, and it is what it is. And we're going to exit here, loop around onto, actually, I completely forget what highway we're looping onto here. See if I can notice it on the sign, because I may or may not have been paying attention mainly to the GPS and not the actual road signs. The 218? Looks like 218. Or the 27? I don't know what technically it's considered as. We're looking clear over there, which is good. Shift down there, Mac Anthem. You can do it. Thank you. Yeah, 218. 218 North Bend. Wait, north? Feel like that's... Oh, maybe it is technically because we're looping around. Actually, that's fair. We'll be exiting again soon. Okay, let's try and get back into more of a groove here with what's going on. So 1.59, obviously, I first look at it, so far so good. UI upgrades, I like the widgets that came in. There's a couple sound fixes for the environment and mainly the AI traffic. Haven't really noticed anything too significant yet, but I guess, you know, no major hiccups, at least in my point of view, is always good. Whereas there's something be a little bit more subtle in that regards. That we've also had the Total Road feature, which, let's say, fingers crossed, we don't have to use today, but in the event that we do, that's a feature that is probably should have been in the game, I don't know, 10 years ago now, when it first came out. Towing to the side of the road when you go off or have something go wrong, instead of always having to go to the nearest service station regardless. It's kind of a nice and more realistic thing to happen, considering, well, if you just go off the road and your truck is in generally fine condition, but you're just stuck, you wouldn't be pulled to a service station for no apparent reason. So that's great. Happy to see that feature come in. And again, just some other general tweaks and improvements leading up to what will be an eventual release onto consoles, so unifying the PC version to whatever the demands of the consoles are to some respect. Say what you want about it, and as we discover Burlington, which is fantastic. Say what you want about the whole console thing. I think when it's all said and done, it's a framework that many game developers follow, having a unified PC and console game alignment. And realistically, it's the most efficient for us players as well, because letting SES Software focus on essentially one version of the game. I know there are technical nuances between all three versions. I understand that. But not having consoles, you know, A and B as one version of the game, and then PC as another big version of the game, and having two complete fan bases that are isolated in terms of content. Having everything unified, I think, is going to be fantastic moving forward. And again, it keeps resources as efficiently used as possible within SES software for various DLC and map upgrades and so on. So if there's going to be an integration with consoles, which is great to see them coming in, I think the more unified approach is the best way to go. Are there going to be sacrifices? Yes. Have we felt most of them? I would say probably already we have. But again, time will tell on that full bit. But again, UI or user interfaces were the main focus of 1.59, hence why I didn't move things out of my way, shall we say, to try and cover the update a little bit more in advance. So in that sense, I am sorry, but at the same time, hopefully you understand my reasoning for it. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room besides the update I'm playing on right now, and it's what is directly to the east of us as we drive this journey, and hence why I chose this journey for today, going along the eastern edge of the ATS map as it speaks, because on May 14th, 2026, the Illinois DLC will be releasing for ATS, which is unreal, fantastic, and I am so gratefully looking forward to being able to explore Illinois, and also be able to finally see the completion of the Route 66 corridor. That's pretty cool, my friends. That is pretty cool indeed, and I am so incredibly excited to have Illinois come in very, very soon. So of course I'll be making content on the Illinois DLC as soon as it releases. So keep an eye out here on the Prime Simulation channel for more content to come on Illinois, because I've got a lot planned, and I'm going to do my very best to try and get back into a regular swing of things here with the content schedules. But before I go into that a little bit more, for my friends over here at ATS that may not have been watching some of the ETS2 content, I do want to say there is also a new truck that is on the way for ATS, and it's the cover art for the Illinois DLC as well, which is the new Volvo VNL by the looks of it. Potentially VNR. I'd love to have both models, but likely just the VNL. Wonderful to see updated Volvo come in. Volvo's a fantastic truck. I always appreciate it as that truck is turning here. Busy day in traffic, if not I merge over lanes, but not a chance we could do that with the amount of traffic flying up on the rest of us here, and it's still coming. That SUV is actually sitting back a little bit more, so not as crazy, so I spoke too soon. Regardless, new truck as well. When is that actually going to release? Well, as of recording this video, don't know. It could be around the DLC launch, maybe? Question mark? Potentially. Maybe that's what's going to happen. The game version upgrade for the Illinois DLC will also bring the truck for those who don't buy the Illinois DLC. So it kind of gives you at least some form of new content, regardless if you pick up the DLC or not. We'll have to see. I'd love to have it right now, honestly. But, you know, sometimes you just got to roll. Okay, the Jeep, you've got to go, man. Dude, you've got to go. Dude, you've got to go. What are you doing? Come on, man. Oh, the AI. Didn't miss it at all, my friends. Didn't miss it at all. And somehow that is both infuriating and funny and a little bit too realistic all at the same time. It hurts a little bit because it is so incredibly realistic, where you just have people not understanding what in the world they are doing as we cross the Missouri state line. Oh, goodness me. The AI never ceases to amaze me here in ATS, nor does it cease to amaze me in ETS2. It's just a constant of unknown is the best way to describe the AI, but it adds a little bit of extra flavor, doesn't it? It always seemingly does. Where was I? Illinois, yes, the Volvo. We don't really know when it's coming, but it's fantastic to have. It's coming eventually. In fact, I don't even think, as of recording this video, it was like officially confirmed in terms of like a specific blog post, but it's been on cover art. The teaser happened. The new Volvo is coming. It's not a question of if, it's when. And again, it being the cover art for the Illinois DLC leads me to believe that that truck will be releasing somewhere around the DLC, if not just a tiny bit before. So that's fantastic. Love to see that. Always great to have a new truck. Would it be fantastic to have a Peterbilt, a new Peterbilt, an upgraded Peterbilt, anything from Peterbilt? Yeah, it would. I won't lie about that one, but a new truck is a new truck, even if it's an upgraded or just new model. And admittedly, this is like a pretty big new model as well. Like it's a fairly decent redesign from the existing, which I think is 2018 Volvo VNL in ATS right now. So I think the new one would be probably a 25, hopefully, maybe 2026 would be fantastic if it was, but realistically it's probably a year or two out of date. Regardless, fantastic to have another new truck coming along with a new DLC just around the corner, literally days away. So in that sense, how many of you are excited for the Illinois DLC? How many of you will be picking up the Illinois DLC as soon as it releases? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you think. But as I said, I will be covering the DLC. So for those who are on the fence about the new Midwest expansion for the ATS, or for ATS is what I was going at. You can always wait. Simply wait, as a boring answer as that may be. Wait and see what you think as I kind of explore around and give my thoughts on the DLC. For those who have been around a while, you know that I am always honest with how I review DLCs and the commentary I make about it. Yes, there are many situations, in fact, the vast majority of situations, I am sent the content to be able to use. And I am completely open and transparent about that. But that does not, buy my opinion on the DLC. There have been DLCs in the past, or things I've been sent, that I don't give a fantastic review on, or at least maybe advise to just wait for it to come on sale, for example. So then you're getting your money's worth, as the AI scares me once again. Classic. It's one of those, if you're on the fence, feel free to wait. I don't want to per se spoil it, so if you're concerned about spoiling the content before you try it out, then I can't really help you, I guess, there in that sense, because quite literally I'm giving you a visual review. Unless if you want to just listen to the video, then I guess by all means. Either way, I'll give you my thoughts one way or another on it, and you can go from there. Make an informed decision, just in case you're on the fence about spending what will be likely around $12-ish for the Illinois DLC. Again, as of recording this video, I don't know that particular number, but based off a track record, it's generally somewhere between $12 and $16, $18, depending on your local currency. Keep that in mind when you're looking to expand. But it is a DLC that is looking extremely promising. Just recently we had a blog post on Chicago. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make a particular coverage on it. Just did a community post, albeit that was even delayed, but still tried. And it's one of those things that it's just wonderful to see what is truly a landmark city for the state, no surprise, but one with such history being recreated to the detail that it is. And many of you have been commenting all along the way, whether it's on the community post or what I've seen from the community itself on various socials itself. The quality is unreal in Illinois, and the same could be said for many recent DLCs. That's a trend that I am happy to say is continuing with SES Software DLCs. They continue to get even more realistic somehow every single time. But Illinois is looking particularly fantastic and realistic, which is very, very exciting. And that blog post also talked about the special transport DLC routes that are within the DLC. And as you may have heard by my voice trying to say that, got a little bit of a chuckle in there. And the reason for that is because it's a love-hate relationship with that DLC. It is a wonderful DLC to be able to use for the sake of having different massive cargo and add a big old challenge to the game. Now, I would argue that about 80% of the challenge now of that DLC is less the driving ability of it. Now, it is still a significant challenge, and many routes can, especially new DLCs, can be a challenge, and I'll get into the Illinois ones in just a second. It's more the operation of the special transport DLC at this point. Regardless of playing in ATS or ETS 2, again, common denominator here, the AI needs some work, and the escort or lead vehicles in the special transport DLC cause havoc. Doesn't matter what you do, it's a 50-50 shot. It truly is. It's a 50-50 shot if you're going to have a smooth special transport delivery, or if they're going to brake at a random interchange for no reason. You're going down the highway, going less than what the speed limit's supposed to be because they won't speed up enough, or there's so many different things. So I chuckle because I will be doing a special transport DLC delivery, at least one, very early on in the Illinois DLC release. That's quite standard, and it's a fun thing to see that element of the game, because they're normally unique custom routes because they're predefined. There will be 3 of them in the Illinois DLC from what I recall, and I'm sure from what I read in the blog post briefly that there'll be pretty challenging. There'll be a diverse mix. Generally, they are quite diverse. You'll have one that's a little bit more straightforward highway. You'll have one that cuts kind of in a middle, and then you'll have, for example, a more challenging or technical delivery. Now, there happens to be 3 this time, so I'm expecting them to be a little bit, well, pretty much in that progression. Hopefully I'm not disappointed. For the ones that have more, generally get a little bit of a mix. Regardless, fantastic to see Special Transport DLC continually updated in terms of routes. Now, the physics teams just have to get on it a little bit, in my opinion, and try and fix the dynamics of the DLC itself so that it's not so annoying to actually play. But, still, if you don't own the Special Transport DLC yet, well, especially when the game is on sale, or the DLC is on sale, I should say, I highly recommend you check it out. Whether it's for just the pure entertainment of chaos, if you could try and draw some entertainment from it and not just frustration, or it's the actual challenge of driving it, I still recommend it. So it's great to see Illinois getting that love with the Special Transport DLC, even if it will come at my demise for making videos. I'm sure they'll be still chaotic, but that's good. It's just like today's episode already has been a little bit chaotic, to say the least. But again, I'm Prime Simulation. What do you expect? It's pretty much just in the name at this point. It's I make mistakes. The game has mistakes or just issues, and sometimes things just happen. And I, unlike many other people, am not afraid to post it online and basically make a fool of myself most of the time. But it's quite entertaining, both for you and for myself to watch back. And honestly, if a reputation is at least a funny, positive one where this guy posts himself, you know, making him look silly all the time when he keeps crashing into stuff or whatever, or things go wrong, I'll take it. I'll take it over than being just the completely serious, creator. Not that they're saying anything wrong with that. But I like to add a little bit of spice to the video, shall we say. A little bit of something to keep you on your toes, especially for something where, you know, the deliveries can be sometimes a little bit more straightforward, and same as the commentary. So there's always something just lingering on the back pocket that could, you know, shake things up a little bit. Either way, Illinois just around the corner, new truck seemingly around the corner as well. But we also have new DLCs in development further and past Illinois, with South Dakota and British Columbia. But then the question is, what's next? what's next after those? Because up until this point, unless if I am somehow missing something, recently we had confirmed as Illinois, we had South Dakota, and then we had British Columbia all confirmed for the game. Now, with that said, and with the release of Illinois just coming around, I'm pretty confident that we'll get another teaser for the next state. If it is a state, if it's not a Canadian province. Where do you think they're going to go? And I'll give my thoughts on it more in the episodes to come on where the map I think is going to go next. But again, I want to know your thoughts on this whole thing, and I know many of you have been commenting on various videos while I've been in a hiatus from ATS, but still, let me know where you think the ATS map is actually going to go after British Columbia, because the current order is obviously Illinois, which is just around the corner, South Dakota, and then we have British Columbia. Are they going to circle back to, we got to, we can actually use this lane to go to St. Louis, which is fantastic. Albeit we do have to merge over here. So I'm going to want to go over. Is that AI going to let me go? Sure is. He's just lingering there. So we're going to get over. Overshoot the merge a little bit, but that's okay. Is it going to circle back to North Dakota? Or are we going to head back down to the southeastern end and try and push our way across? Let me know. And I could also be saying this and somehow forgetting a DLC, which I don't think I am. And this could also age terribly with the amount of news that is likely about to come out in the coming days with new DLC and trucks and other things alike. I want to know your thoughts. The other thing that I want to know your thoughts on, what do you think is coming out in 1.60 or 1.6? The next big, shall we say, turning point in theory, or update for ATS and ETS2. If we think back to 1.50, 1.40, 1.30, 1.20, an example, they were all fairly decent changes if I remember correctly. There were some decent features that came in with them when it rolled over the 10. And so I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts on what 1.60 or 1.60 could involve for ATS. There's so many different options. There's so many things that we'd love to see as we get to take in the beautiful St. Louis Arch. There are so many things that could be involved in 1.60, but it's just a matter of time. And as boring and as underwhelming as that may be, it is the truth. Again, as far as I recall, we don't really have anything indicating what 1.60 could entail. Is it a major rework at this point? It very well could be. The other thing that admittedly came out, actually, was that? It wasn't in 1.59, was it? Or was it? The Route 66 rework. Was that was the decent headline thing of that upgrade, wasn't it? Or wasn't 1.58? Gee whiz, I completely forgot about the Route 66 upgrade. I talked about it finishing up here with Illinois and completely forgot that it got reworked. Good. Good. Okay, well, that's fun. I guess we'll be doing that. We'll be doing that soon too, my friends. Oh, gee whiz. You know what? This is the point. I'm not perfect, okay? And when you've got enough stuff going on outside of YouTube, okay, long story short, changed careers, got a new job. It's been busy. It's been busy getting up to speed with things, but very happy where I'm at, and also will be more stable. I can actually say that confidently. It will be more stable and consistent. It's just been a bit to try and get back to consistent, and a few other things happening outside with various changes behind the scenes with the channel, all positive, by the way, and just more administrative things that been eating up some of my time. Well, I completely forgot about the Route 66 rework, and for those who commented at the beginning of the video saying Route 66 rework, yeah, I know, I remember now, and I think it came out, right? That's bad. You know what? Let's look at the map. Let's just look at the map and see if the whole section here is pretty much annihilated. Yeah. Wait, didn't we do a section? Yeah, that wasn't in 1.59, was it? Maybe I wasn't talking, because I think so. This section here got redone. Didn't I do a small section? Because like Winslow, because we went through it. Yeah, I think technically I did. It was 1.58, wasn't it? Ah, now it's starting to click. Because I did something with the Bobcat DLC around that point too, didn't I? Okay, but I just didn't do a ton of coverage in it. Okay, the gears are starting to click back a little bit more, and admittedly I should have done a little bit more of a look back to see where we were at, because it has been a hot minute since I've done content here in ATS. There we go, full circle moment. So feel free to do whatever corrections to comments you want at this point, friends, because you're going to need it. Oh, big thunderstorm. The rain just kind of came out of nowhere. Quite literally out of nowhere. We got a big storm, but fortunately we're going underground. So anyways, lots of changes here in ATS, and lots of things to talk about moving forward here. I'm going to be doing a couple extra episodes here very soon. Of course, leading up to the release of the Illinois DLC, which is very, very exciting. Big thunderstorm. And we'll have to just see how it goes. Obviously, got lots of content as my head completely flicks out the window, which is just wonderful. We've got lots coming up here. Lots of content planned with Illinois. Other games alike. Lots of things on the go. All really exciting things. So keep an eye here on the channel once again for the content to come, because we're back in full swing, my friends. At least that's my goal. Can't make promises because I will inevitably break them and feel bad. But I'm going to do my very, very best to keep things a little bit more consistent, because I know you all love the episodes. I love making the episodes and just content in general. And I do not want that to change whatsoever. Alright. We can't enter here, but we are having to go to the blue zone by the looks of it. Or purple zone, whatever you want to call it. St. Louis, Missouri, Terror Storm. Or Terror Storm, not Terror Storm. My bad. So let's go ahead inside the facility. We're in Zone A here. And I guess we actually have to loop all the way around, right? This one doesn't have a separate cutoff. Interesting. Okay, well, let's make our way through then. And we're going to Zone C then. A, B, and C. It's going to be interesting. Work our way around. Haven't been in this facility yet, don't believe. Don't think it was all lit up on the map, so I doubt it. Problem is that it's hard to sometimes keep track of these Terror Storm facilities, because they are different, but also they are underground facilities, so naturally they look somewhat similar. But they are different enough. They are different enough in the scale, especially, and layout, I guess. So really they're different. I'm just not remembering because it has been a hot minute, as I previously discussed. As I slur my words there because commentating rust. Saying that, I should have had lots of practice, because I literally just did a 7-part, well, okay, 5-part speaking long haul, which the movie for ETS2 is coming, my friends. For those who happen to watch the series and were excited about it, thank you for supporting, and thank you for supporting the channel around here as well, by the way. During the hiatus, I know many of you are big ATS fans and have been watching previous content. Thank you very much for the support. I'm happy to be back, and the bread and butter is now officially back, my friends. It is now officially back, as a Volvo is so wonderfully parked in a spot where I'd like to be, and I don't think that's just not going to work. I was really hoping it was going to work, but then I realized that there's a garbage compactor there. So we are going to have to blindside reverse this, which is so incredibly wonderful. Let's look out the window here to get Back it around. Hard right turn. Or left turn. Technically. Whatever. You know what I mean. Turn. This hard turn in general. Okay, so we gotta come up here and look in the mirror. Where is my point which I'm good? Okay, right there. We're gonna try and do this in the mirror. This is probably gonna turn out just about as terrible as you think it will. But I'm willing to give it a shot. So let's try and get this cutting in. I think I've gone already too far. I can't really see in that bottom mirror very well. So I am partly doing this blind. I'm definitely not cutting the trailer enough. Okay, I think I'm on the far side, aren't I? Yes, and there is a trailer there. Okay, let's then try to come forward and get a better angle at this. Get a little bit more on a, say, 45. Now I've got this concrete barrier here that is the base of a pillar that I've got to contest with, and admittedly I probably should have been closer to the inside and go at a more aggressive angle. If I go really aggressive now, will it work? Okay, let's go forward just a little bit, just a tad. I'm going to try and do this somewhat legit, because it has been a while and you all deserve at least a genuine attempt at a trailer reverse. Because there have been many times in the past where I've just kind of cheated the system, and I don't really like doing that. See, this barrier is going to do my head in. Okay, get nice and close. Okay, continue the cut without touching the concrete. That got very close. Okay. We've now got ourselves at a point where I can actually do this. And hopefully, yes, we can actually go back now, which is great if I steer the right way. Slow and steady wins the race. We are very close on that side, so I'm going to try and then chase the trailer back. We are off center, so I'm going to try and get the door lined up a bit better. It's going to take it. It's not good, but it's not terrible. Okay? You know what? I think I may call that okay. I may call that okay. And thank you all so much for watching. What a fantastic episode back here in American Truck Simulator. It has been way too long. Way too long indeed, but it's great to be back here with ATS Showcases, and so excited for what's to come here with ATS. So many things on the horizon, near and far, and I can't wait to explore it with all of you, and of course, for myself selfishly. But with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.